Chiefs got a brand new defense coming in, and we got to take a look at what it may look like. Coming at you right now. Welcome back to RGR. I'm Ryan, and this is me going rogue about the Chiefs and the NFL and everything we can find under the sun. We are deep within draft strategy, draft analysis, draft everything right now. And I want to make sure that I do a couple of things for you guys before I start talking specifically about the draft prospects. That's going to come. And so the videos are going to get shorter here for a while until we're post-draft. I will be doing live broadcasts on YouTube for all the draft selections. So when the Chiefs go on the clock, especially in the first round, you should find me on the clock, if not shortly thereafter. So keep an eye out for that. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the things that Steve Spagnuolo did with his defense in New York, the last place that we can really glean some information from. That's where Landon Collins was playing for him, did a lot of interesting things, and I think it might give us a glimpse of where they're going with this Chiefs defense in 2019. And it brings up a couple of questions, and I want to cover them here before we get any deeper, because this is important, and it relates to the draft, and you'll see as we look at the film here at the end of the video, that's where the clips will be, the difference in how he plays and what he plays. There is some talk lately, this week in fact, about the Chiefs may be looking at playing more zone in principle, not just out of necessity. So you may see the shift from guys that are predominantly man defenders, specifically at the corners, to go along with the shift that we've seen along the defensive front. And we've talked about that ad nauseum. You've heard about all the different pass rushers that are more the power-based pass rushers. And they're going to show an alignment that's going to be a little bit different. They're going to play a different game. And so the secondary has to play a different game as well. And I think what that means is if the Chiefs intend on playing more zone, the defenders in the secondary, the corners in particular, are going to be a little bit different type than we're used to as of late. So let's take a look at a couple of plays. And like I said, this video is going to be short. So will the next few as we go through it. So just keep hitting that like and the subscription and the thumbs up if you like what we're doing. Spread the word. I really appreciate it. And let's take a look at some of the film. Here's a 4-3 overlook to start with nickel backers and what looks like a cover 2 shell. 33 is going to come down into a robber, but you see they're dropping into zones, and they're going to take a shot down that sideline. It ends up paying off for them in that they get an underthrown ball that they can pick off. And looks good because it was disguised as one thing early, and then you can even see as these linebackers look like they're coming downhill a little bit right here, and now they drop. Notice the MLB is getting a lot of depth, and that's something the Chiefs are going to have to find some way to do. This is a really interesting mixed coverage from Spagnuolo. What you're going to see is a cover 2 man under look, and then the bottom half they're going to play zone. The top half of the screen they're going to play man, with one safety coming into a robber position, the other dropping back as a center fielder type. And as they get going here, you can see how the mix throws off timing and produces another play where the linebacker can step in front of the ball and really make a nice play. Now, this isn't the fastest linebacker in the world, but the guy's quick into coverage, and I like the way that he plays. Again, disguising things pre-snap to get where you want to be that the quarterback doesn't expect. Now, this is probably my favorite clip from the 2017 Giants film that I looked at, and it's all about deception and throwing off what's going to go on in that quarterback's head. And you see that initial shift that we show where the DBs are coming down in. One of the safeties moves off of what you thought was going to be nickel coverage, comes inside, fakes that blitz. You get the top safety. That's Landon Collins, 27, trying to come down. It looked like he's taking one of those receivers. Now they come back with it again. They're aligned with one guy in the middle, right over the center, as well as some edge rushers on the outside. You know, again, guys that are going to fit the mold that Spagnuolo wants. And then they're faking around with all these linebackers and DBs. Big question for Kirk Cousins is who's coming and who's not. It's going to be real telling as 23 peels. Watch how much depth he has to get. Turns his back to the quarterback to get down the center of the field because they have more receivers. Their strong formation was to the bottom of the screen, and so they're working back here. They get some pressure from the guys they did send, forces Cousins into a bad throw. But, again, there were holes in this defense. There was a gap down to the bottom of the screen. But again, look at what he's dealing with in his face. 4 standing rushers plus 3 linemen. Who's coming, who's not. This is what we have to see from the Kansas City Chiefs. Whatever they do in terms of personnel, this is the goal. Spags wants to keep every quarterback on his toes. That's Cromartie 41 looking like he's going to be coming hard. You're going to watch 47 be in a position to make a nice play. But again, there are gaps that have to be filled. As the linebacker takes off and tries to get depth, the wide receiver is actually going to run an out route here and is going to have a chance if the ball had been able to be delivered. That blitz pays off, makes a big play, and a lucky catch there by the linebacker. This is where the Spagnuolo defense is going in Kansas City. So that's it for a look at what Steve Spagnuolo is likely going to try to do with this Chiefs defense. A couple of variations and some wrinkles that they can really use. I'm pretty intrigued by what the options are going to be depending on who they fill the secondary with, both at corner, but also as another secondary piece of deep safety. See if they bring in some new blood there. I feel like they will. And I'm looking at doing some prospects here in the next couple of videos to give you an idea of what's out there and how they play. Now, video for the college guys is always iffy. Don't know if I'll be able to broadcast that because of copyright issues and that kind of thing. So just hang with me, and I'll get some of these guys going. Make sure that you check out the Athletic Matrix. It is up at rogueapc.com, and I have a great discount code for you. Just put in RGR when you check out, and you'll get a couple of bucks off. It'll give you an idea of the landscape for where athleticism is, and that applies to every position in this draft. So check that out. We'll be back in another day or two probably with another video, and as always, we'll do the Q&A on Monday nights, so don't miss that. Thanks for all of your time. Thanks for spreading the word, and I'll talk to you next time.